Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today, we are presenting webinar on increasing accuracy in workplace, which has been organized by Applied Science and Humanities Department of Parul Polytechnic Institute of Parul University. The main agenda of this webinar is to provide a clear explanation of goal for improving accuracy in workplace. This webinar would also help to train employee on the correct process and procedure and how the employee can use their time to complete their task in proper way. I, Farheen Sheikh, would like to introduce today's guest speaker, Rita Linde Derit from Philippines. She is a certified image and etiquette consultant by the Association of Image Consultant International. She has finished her image mastery course at the International Image Institute of Toronto and Protocol School of Palm Beach. She finished her AB Psychology course at the De La Salle University, Manila. She is currently chairperson of Pro-Life Philippines Foundation, a group that advocates the protection of family and life. She is often interviewed on TV and radio and currently hosts weekly broadcasts under the Fate Watch. She has conducted various talks and webinars and has helped employees in various ways to get knowledge about etiquette and image. We are very much pleased to hear you again, madam, on this platform, and we feel privileged that you are here today. You can start your session now, ma'am. It's
Thank
over
you.
to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning. It's still morning in India. I know it's like 11:30 here in Manila, where I live. It's already 2:30 or 2 o'clock in the
So,
afternoon. It there
okay,
is 11:30. So you have not had your lunch. I have had my lunch, so I think all is okay. Thank you so
okay,
much for inviting me again. I am delighted to be back here. This is my third webinar for Parul University. Mr. Hamal, I am becoming your favorite. Thank you so much. So
okay.
the webinar, this talk is about increasing accuracy in the workplace. Accuracy is something that is very important, very vital, not only in the workplace, but also in our personal life. When we are accurate, then we save a lot of time, energy, effort. We save many resources when we are accurate. When we have less mistakes, then we have more time to do better things. So I hope that in this very, very, very short, I've done this webinar for a big company here in Manila. It is an 8-hour webinar. So this is like just a, a stick peek of what the entire seminar is, increasing accuracy in the workplace. Now, we know that many times it is just very human for us to commit errors in personal life and in the workplace. However, sometimes errors can be fatal. It has an impact. What is the impact of error? For example, in our own image, if you are always committing a mistake in your line of work, then how will HR, how will your coworkers assess you? Or what will they be talking about you? That they will say that, oh, she is always committing a mistake. Oh, she is not efficient. Oh, we cannot promote her to a higher position because she is always committing expensive errors. How is that? It also has an impact with our coworkers. Many times, if a person in one department is always committing a mistake or a failure, then people start talking behind her back and people start whispering. And so when people start talking behind your back, then that creates a not a less than a harmonious spirit in the workplace. When people are talking about you, then that is not good. And that could even be the start of many quarrels. What is the impact of errors in the organization? We should bear in mind that our branding as a person is not only personal, but we always carry with us the brand of our organization. For example, so if you are always committing an error or a mistake, what would they say? Oh, you know that office, that organization, they are not very good there. I don't like to go there because the people there, they are not very good. They are not very efficient. They do not pay attention to details. It is very important that we always pay attention to small details because in life it is really the small details that create a huge impact. So do not really be like thinking big things. Small things creates big impact. All right. Now, why do we commit error? When we wake up in the morning, we have a 100% attention span. But as we, go through our work, go through our studies, go through life, go through traffic, our attention level goes down. And sometimes it is only 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We are what we already say, low bat. We have very low battery. We are already drained. Now, before we go to the structures, I want to ask you, what drains you? Many things drains us every day. Multitasking, personal problems, people. And the thing is, sometimes when we commit errors, when we are distracted, we blame. We blame external forces. We blame too many emails, too many due dates, too many reports to finish. We blame the people around us. My co-workers are too noisy. My boss is demanding so much. We blame technical issues. I could not concentrate because there's always technical glitch because I cannot use my computer well. Well, the bandwidth is low, many things. Or sometimes we say, I commit an error because the other department, they are very poor in coordinating with me because the person there did not tell me exactly what to do. Or we can say, I commit an error because, there are new forms in the office. There are new policies. I was not able to update myself in the new policies and in the new forms. These are external distractions. And it is real. It's so traffic. So I am not well today. It is so hot. Or it is so cold. Or it is too noisy. Or it is raining. We have many excuses. But the reality is 80% of the time we distract ourselves internally. The distraction is inside us. So what do? We have to recognize so that we can manage the internal distractions that makes us commit errors. Okay, so in my screen, you will see in the upper left corner, mood swings. This is true not only for men, but even not only for women, but only for men. Sometimes we have to deal with our hormones. For women in their 50s, it could be menopause, or for the young people, it could be, raging and very active hormones. They just want to do things. And this is an inner distraction. So then what do you do? What do you do when you are distracted because of mood swings or because of hormonal changes happening in our body? It could be that if you are a woman, you are conceiving a child, and therefore you have, you feel so many things, or angry without reason. Or if you are a women, we do get angry without any reason, and that is a distraction. So what do? We need to know when it will happen. We need to be able to recognize, it is that time of the month. I will be distracted because of my hormones. So we make more time to really prepare ourselves. We need to do some positive self-talk. We need to relax more. And maybe we should not overcommit to a lot of work when we know that it is that time of the month. Personal problems. Many times people commit mistakes or error in the workplace because they are burdened with personal issues. It could be family issues, or if you are not yet married, it could be, love life. So what do? I would always tell people that I coach that they should live a well-ordered life, that they should manage their personal problems immediately. Many times we put off. We put off because, as human beings, as person, we really go for goals that has short-term impact in our life. So when we have a problem at home, we say, oh, never mind, that is not important. I need to do my work. So you are not addressing. Maybe you have a son who is not talking to you, or maybe your spouse is not talking to you, or maybe your parents are not talking to you, and yet you are not minding them. You are not addressing the issue because you think that, oh, I don't have time for this. I need to go to work. But the thing is, it compounds, it aggravates, it becomes serious. So the thing to do, we cannot avoid personal problems even if we live a 100% well-ordered life. There are many factors affecting every person, but what we do is when we recognize that there is an issue, we should immediately address them. Let us take time to address family concerns because a well-ordered life makes a productive person. Example, my husband plays golf, and he was telling me that I think everybody knows Tiger Woods. He is an international figure, a very famous golfer. And I think that many of you also know that there was a time his married life was in shambles. He was caught cheating by his wife and all those things. And my husband said that during those times when Tiger Woods was in the middle of marital problems, his golf game was very bad. It was very bad. And so I told my husband, so maybe that is why you are always champion in golf, because the home life is in good order. So as I'm talking right now, maybe you would want to think about how is everything at home. You cannot separate personal and professional. Especially we are Asians. Asians, personal and professional are one and the same. Both impact each other. So if you want to work well, make sure that everything is well at home. Another distraction is an illness. If we are not feeling good, oh my gosh, the numbers are bad in the country. I don't know what are the numbers in your country, but here we are having over 50,000 cases of COVID. No, so in my family alone, my sister, my brother, his wife, my two brothers are COVID positive. But it is a mild version. I think this Omicron is like a flu. So it's a mild version. But many times when we feel a headache or a small bump or a small pain here, we do not mind. We don't care about it. We tell ourselves we are too busy at work to go to the doctor. What happens then? It compounds. Again, one day you just find yourself in a hospital or with a doctor in a lot of pain, and the news will not be very good. So listen to your body. If there is a pain or an ache, just be sensitive to what you are feeling and immediately seek medical attention. Your seeking medical attention now can help prevent big problems in the future. And therefore, if you are well and good and not feeling anything, you are more able to focus on the task at hand. Money is a major distraction. So we have to be careful with the money. We have to live within our means. We have to be financially literate. And of course, we have to prepare for our future, for our retirement. As I would always say, especially to the young people here in this webinar, the 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 day that you start saving for your retirement is on your first day at work. Really? Yes. So be mindful of the things that you spend on so that you will not be distracted by financial problems. Okay. How else do we become more accurate in the workplace? Clarity is very important. We have to be clear about what are the deliverables in our work. So how do you become clear? Know the purpose. Why are you doing this work? What is the objective? If unclear, you ask, you simplify, and you break it down. You just have to ask questions. When I was doing this webinar for a big organization in the country, I would give them some play, some icebreakers. I would give them a short instruction, then I leave them on their own. So when they go back to the plenary, I would ask them, oh, how is it that you were not doing it correctly? Because they were not clear about the instructions. And you know what? They were shy to ask. So many times in the workplace, so a high-ranking official will give you something to do, and you are too shy to ask. And so you feel, oh, I will try to do it the way I understand it. That is not the way to go. Just ask. Asking will not kill you. If the instructions are too long, you simplify or you break it down. For example, about September of last year, I was a speaker in the international conference of the Association of Image Consultants International. And there were so many emails, instructions on the platform that we will use, instructions on how to open the platform, how to work the platform, instructions on what to submit to the organization because it has to be translated into different languages. So it was just a lot. And when you open an email or anything, when you open something that has a lot of instructions in it, you get overwhelmed. And sometimes you give up. Oh, this is too much. What you can do? Calm down. Just calm down. Take it one step at a time. Read one line at a time and then write. So what I did, I read the email and then I have a pen and paper and then I write what exactly they want. Writing helps you remember. So write it down. Break it down. And then when you look at it, you will tell yourself, oh, it was not too hard. It was actually simple. So do not get overwhelmed by long instructions. There is a way to simplify it. And very importantly, please do not be shy to ask or to clarify. When you are in a big group and you are given an instructions by a higher ranking official, it is good to have a harmonious relationship with your co-workers so that you can ask each other. Because if you are not okay with your co-workers, then it is more difficult for you to ask questions. And then you take time to plan accordingly. So be clear about the goals, be clear about the steps you take, and then plan accordingly. Prioritize your actions. Okay. One way also of increasing accuracy in the workplace is to enjoy the steps, enjoy the journey. Many times if you go, it happens to me too. I go to my desk and I don't know which one to do first. Or there's just too many things and I just want to finish it. Do you feel that? You just want to put it in the outbox. You just want to finish everything. So you rush. When you feel like doing that, calm down, relax, and tell yourself to enjoy the process. For example, if you get a chunk of meat, put it in your mouth and immediately swallow it, what will happen? You will feel indigestion because you did not take time to chew it. The chewing is the process. The chewing is the enjoyment of the journey. So take one step at a time and enjoy it. For many of us, like I have been working for over 43 years. Oh my gosh, I just gave you my age. I have been working, and sometimes it happens that you no longer enjoy what you are doing. So for those of you among here who feels that everything is just routine, nothing is enjoyable anymore, you are just going through it every day, see the big picture. What is your job doing for you? What is your job, whatever it is that your task is, what is it that is doing for the organization? What is it doing for your family? Enjoy the journey. As they always say, it's not about the winning, it's about the sports, the enjoyment of the journey, the enjoyment of the process. Enjoy the process, because when you are enjoying, then you are more diligent. You are more likely to see the many aspects of the task. You are more likely to be attentive to details. Be watchful of moments of opportunity. You know, there are times when we are at work and we say, oh yeah, this is a better way of doing it. Recognizing that really there is always a better way of doing things. So you check out moments of opportunity and be mindful of that. For example, if you are like always create what do you do? Maybe you are in the accounting department and you are listing down receivables, and then you say, if I use my ruler or if I use my red pen, then it is less likely for me to commit a mistake, because now I know that if there is a red mark, that means I'm done with that. So it is also good to use the tools of the trade. What are tools of the trade? In my desk, I deal with a lot of numbers. I have my red pen, my marker, my ruler. I like to use my ruler. Or if I am using it doing electronic work in the laptop, in the computer, then I highlight. There are ways of doing it. I was talking with a cashier of a big organization, and she said that she likes to use, the tape calculator, the tape, where there is a tape that comes out. I don't know if you still have that right now. I saw that like years ago with my mother-in-law, but it is easier for you to track down. So be mindful of moments of opportunity where you are able to discover ways of doing things in a better way. It is also important for us to have the right or wrong attitude. It cannot be that it's okay, that is enough, that will do. That is not an excellent attitude. Remember, we want to be accurate, we want to be efficient, we want to be more attentive to details, because we want to move our work from good to best. So good is never enough. We strive for best. So whenever it has to be in your mind that you are the last touch delivery, that whatever comes out of your desk is perfect, it is correct. You see, I manage our own business, the business of the family. My husband and I and my sons, they help us in the operations. We are dealers of the number one beer in the country, San Miguel Beer. And I am the last touch delivery. I audit everything. I audit receivables, I audit payables, I audit reports. So if I sign a report, that means that is 100% correct report. So that has to be your attitude. Whenever a report comes out of my desk, whenever I sign a report, it is 100% correct. It should not be that, oh, anyway, if something is wrong, my supervisor will see it. It should not be that way. You should like have that attitude of being always correct. So when it is wrong, no, it will not leave your desk until it is perfect. Aside from all these, what is really important are some, that we have some wellness practices, that we take care of our bodies, that because a happy person is a productive worker. So what are some wellness practices that I would like to share with you today? Number one, very important, in the midst of COVID, we were asked to do it, to sleep, to have proper sleep. And they say that we should have 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Are you doing that? Sleeplessness is a major disease in the 20th century. With the rise of Netflix and online gaming and global communications, people are no longer getting enough sleep. With COVID, we were told to sleep well, have 7 to 8 hours of sleep. But even without COVID, it is important for us because it is the time of sleep that our body recovers. So how do you know that you slept properly, that you had a good night's sleep? When you wake up refreshed, and when you open your eyes and you're ready to jump out of bed and go to work, that means you had a good night's sleep. But if you wake up and you're so sluggish and you could hardly get out of your bed and you are walking ever so slowly, then that means you did not sleep well. So what should we remember in order for us to have proper sleep? First of all, you should be able to determine what are the things that makes you sleepless. So what are the things that makes you sleepless? Sugar is number one. Sugar, caffeine, these are things that could keep us wide awake at night. So be mindful. So if you're not able to sleep, for example, review. What did I eat? What did I drink? Oh, I had coffee at 5 o'clock. So now you know that you cannot have coffee. So you experiment. Next, you stop having coffee at 5 o'clock. And then you will see that, oh, so I'm sleeping better. So that means no caffeine, meaning coffee, tea, or soda. No, no caffeine at 5 o'clock. I was able to determine that. So my last cup of coffee, my first and last cup of coffee would be my breakfast coffee. And then, because we are staying at home, we are home-based, my husband, after his lunch, would like to drink coffee again. And sometimes he would tell me, oh, let's share this cup of coffee. I will take a teeny-weeny bit of sip, and then that's it. And then sugar, sugar rush. So I try not to have dessert at night. Very, very difficult. Especially we just came from the Christmas holidays. There was just too much sweets, too much pastries, too much chocolate in the ref. But I try to control because very difficult if you are not able to sleep. What else? You have to control your use of your screen time. So if, for example, you are doing your games, you need to be able to set a time limit or a progress limit. What is that? I would always tell myself, you see, discipline is very important. If you want to be very excellent in your work, you need a lot of self-discipline. So me, what I do, I would tell myself, I like watching Netflix. I like watching Korean drama on Netflix. And you know, Netflix, you can go on and on and on because, you know, next episode, next episode, next episode. So I have set myself sometimes a time limit. I would tell myself, okay, I will only watch until 9:45. By 10 o'clock, I should be in bed. So no matter what, I turn it off. No more next episode, or I just stop in the middle. Or you can say, I will watch one episode tonight. And that's it. Time limit or progress limit. If you are into gaming, then you also say, oh, I can only move up to this level, or I will only play. And then no more screen time. Studies have shown that really when you are always in front of your laptop or your tablet or your cell phone, that screen time gives you difficulty in sleeping. So be mindful. So stop looking at your phone. Just relax your eyes. You should also be mindful. Ask people at home, do you snore a lot? You do not like say that snoring is nothing, because it could be that you are suffering from sleep apnea. So how do you know? You sleep early, you think you are asleep, but you wake up at the same time every day, but still you get sleepy throughout the day, or you are sluggish. Then maybe you did not sleep well. Why? Because there is a lack of oxygen, in the breathing. So if that is the case, you might want to go to a sleep doctor. Yes, there is a sleep medicine. So your sleep habits checked, because it is possible that you are lying down on your bed, but you are not actually going into deep sleep. All right. It is very important, of course, to exercise. Exercise. You know, what is very important really is consistency. Before the lockdown, around 10 years ago, I used to go to the gym a lot. And many times in January, the gyms will be full. Why? Because everybody is preparing their bodies for summer, for the beach. We have fabulous, excellent beaches in the Philippines. So then after that, around July, August, very little people are working out. Exercise has to be consistent. Whatever you do, if you don't do it consistently, it will not impact your body or yourself. So exercise, it does not have to be complicated. It does not have to be expensive. What I do now, I open YouTube. My favorites are Leslie Sanson, Walk at Home, or Dance That Walk, or Senior Dance by I forgot his name. But I do 30 to 40 minutes about 4 times a week, and it has done wonders. Exercise releases happy hormones. So when you are happy, then you are more ready, you are better prepared to do your work. Okay. Of course, healthy eating habits, very important. Very important that you cut down on sweets. Keep your plate colored. When I say colored, I mean green vegetables and red, beets, everything, fruits that are deep red, green leafy, or carrots, orange. For over 12 years now, my early morning drink, the first meal that I have every day, is a glass of carrots, cucumber, spinach, or kale, and carrots, cucumber, spinach, or kale, And what else? Carrots and apple. Yes, apple, the fruit to make it sweet. And it has done wonders for my immune system. It has done wonders for my skin. So, and for my digestive system. So watch what you eat because you are what you eat. And then I told you earlier that writing helps you remember. So you might want to write things down. Do not try to keep it all in your brain because we can only store too much. Go back to writing. Sometimes also it will help to journalize. If I am not into journalizing, but you might want to try at the end of the day, like 3 things that you are most grateful for the day, 3 things that you would want to have improved during that day. Just write anything about what happened in your day. Try it. And it can also be very relaxing because in order to be well, we have to be relaxed. What else is relaxing? Relaxing also is calling a friend. So, we are all stressed. There are just too many things. With the rise of online meetings with technology, sometimes organizations or we feel that our organizations expect us to be present 24/7. But that cannot be. We have to relax. So when you feel stressed out, when you feel you are low battery, call a friend and just talk about nice things just to relax you. Or you could read a book. So my goal this year, I was inspired by my youngest daughter. She said she read 17 books in 2021. Oh my gosh, I said, how could you even do that? And she lives in Madrid. She has housemates, but basically she cooks her own food, cleans her room. She is a language assistant. She buys her stuff. When she gets sick, she calls the ambulance. She goes to the hospital by herself. And I said, you have time. And she does private classes. She teaches English. And I said, you have time to read 17 books. I think I can do that too. So my goal now is to read at least maybe 4 books. Many times I read books only for professional purposes for my programs. But it is very relaxing too to read a book that will just inspire you. So read a book. What else? What other wellness practices can you think of? Maybe in your mind you have walk outside, walk under the sun, walk with the fresh air, or go biking, or just laugh, or just put up your feet and watch your favorite show. Anything that will relax you. You deserve it. Do not say that you do not have time to relax. If you tell yourself that you do not have time to relax, then one day, boom, you won't have time or the energy to do your work well. Okay, so are there any questions? I am ready now to entertain questions from the participants.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, how do you show accuracy at workplace?
How do you what?
How do you show your accuracy at workplace?
Oh, how do you show accuracy in the workplace? By the output, by your what you deliver in the workplace. If, for example, your desk is clean and your files are in order, when you have very little, things that you throw because of the mistakes that you do, that is showing accuracy in the workplace. When you are on time for all the reports that you need to submit, when you are aware of all the policies, of new policies, when you are able to fill up forms, that is showing that you are accurate. That is showing that you are attentive to details. When your boss does not have to go back to you and tell you that you committed a mistake here, that this is wrong, then that is showing accuracy. And our bosses, they they appreciate accuracy because accuracy equals professionalism.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next question is, what is the importance of accuracy in life?
Oh, very important. You save a lot of money and energy when you are accurate. Because if you are always committing a mistake, you are throwing a lot of paper. You are always like you are spending so much time. If, for example, when you commit an error in your work, then usually it is just not a matter of changing an item in a paper. Sometimes, if you, for example, you commit an error that involves a client, it would involve calling the client, explaining to the client. It could also involve money. For example, if you are handling money and then you give out the wrong receipt, or you were not able to count the money correctly, or your report is wrong, then it would cost you money. It could cost the organization money. If, for example, the technicians or the IT department is not accurate in their work, and then there can be glitch in the system, and that would be very harmful to the organization. Very harmful to errors can be very expensive to an organization and to people. So for you, it could cost you your job. If you commit a grave error, it could cost you your job. It could cost you your career goals. For the organization, they could be losing clients, losing money, losing the trust of the public.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next question is, how can work quality and accuracy be improved?
Okay, let us go back to this. Yes, you can improve the quality by, first of all, managing the distractions. There are, for example, if you are distracted by people, then you have to know how to tell people. Many times in the workplace, we and our co-workers, we have annoying habits. And sometimes we can be distracted by the annoying habit of a co-worker. It is possible, for example, that a co-worker likes to chew to eat chips while working. Or maybe a co-worker likes to play music while working. So, but that is for you a distraction. So, you have to learn how to tell that person in a way that is not hurtful, in a way that is not painful to that person. So, very important that we keep a good, harmonious relationship with our co-workers, so that when we need to tell somebody that she or he has an annoying habit that is causing you to commit an error, then you will be able to tell that person. So how do you create a harmonious relationship? Make sure that you invest, you make good deposits in the emotional bank account of your co-workers. What do I mean by that? In a workplace, you should be able to appreciate a person's work and tell them that, make them know that you appreciate what they did. Be the person who says thank you and welcome. Be the person who can smile at people. Be the person who is considerate of others. So that when it happens that you need to tell a person that he or she has an annoying habit that is causing you to be less accurate in your work, then you can actually tell that person. And in telling that, while talking to that person, our body language and our tonality is very important. So when you need to tell someone, or for example, if you are if you like to work with music and it is annoying me, So to me, you have an annoying habit. If I tell you, your music is making me commit mistakes, then do you think that it will create harmony in the workplace? On the contrary, it could be that you become enemies with your coworker, and that is not good. But if you say, I, I need to tell you this, but really, could you lower down the volume of your music because I am committing a mistake because I get distracted. It is also good that you examine yourself. Could you be the reason? Okay, ask yourself, could I be the reason why people are committing mistakes in my department? Do you know what the platinum rule is? I think you know the golden rule. Anybody here wants to tell me about the golden rule? The golden rule, do unto others what you want others to do unto you, right? But there is a higher rule, the platinum rule. And the platinum rule says, treat others as they want to be treated. The principle behind it being it's different strokes for different folks. Some people can work best with music. Some people is okay with talking or eating while working. But some people wants complete silence. Some people wants quiet and peace. So it's just different. So if you might want to ask your coworker, is it okay for me to play music while I work? Or I need to call my mom. Can I call from my desk? Or will you be distracted? That is part of office civility. That is part of being considerate towards others. So remember the platinum rule. Treat others as they want to be treated. So ask people, because what is okay with you may not be okay with them. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
And
you.
next question is, what are the way to check accuracy in study? How can
Oh,
we check accuracy in study?
accuracy in study. Well, you have to be very focused. First of all, you have to you have to be clear about your goal. What do you want to achieve? Why are you preparing for? What are you preparing for? Are you preparing for an exam or something that you need to submit? It is good to have a consistent study time at the same time so that this period is meant for studying. It is important also that it is quiet when you study and do not multitask when you study. No calls, do not open the many apps in your phone, do not open many windows in your laptop, do not do online shopping, do not chat with people, just study. Focus on what you need to learn. So just focus and it has to be consistent. Consistently studying at the same time. Daily, consistent. It cannot be that you always only study during exams or in you are in a family gathering and you are reading your notes. See what works for you because my children, I have 5 children. When they would study, they would go to a coffee shop and they said they could study while drinking coffee. That works for them, but that does not work for me. So you have to find out what works for you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for getting time out of your schedule for joining with us today and sharing your knowledge with us. It was pleasant listening to you. I am also thankful to our HOD, Mr. Hemal Patel sir, the HOI of our institute, Dr. Jatin Vaidya sir, and the president of our university, Dr. Devanshu Patel sir, for motivating and supporting us continuously in conducting such a webinar. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am.
Oh, my pleasure to be here with you. I hope to see you all again. Keep well, everybody, and stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So can I leave now, or what do we do next?
Yes, madam. You can. You can.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
As I said, keep well and stay safe. Thank you, Mr. Hemal, for always inviting me. My pleasure to be here with you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.